Hello, it's Adam from NewConsumer.tv here. I'm at Earls Court in London for the Ideal Home Show. Yes, I know what you're thinking, magic mops. Well, actually this year's show has an important theme, and that's sustainable architecture and sustainable communities. All topical stuff considering that our homes in the UK are responsible for over a quarter of the country's carbon emissions. And Gordon Brown is likely to announce tax breaks in his budget for green home upgrades. The question is, what exactly is going on at the Ideal Home Show that's green this year? Well, we're about to go inside and chat to some of the people involved, so come and join us. Well, we're here now in the concepts area of the show. There's several interesting bits of eco-design going on. Already seen something called the Trident, which is a smart meter in the vein of an ElectroSave or a DIY Kyoto Watson. Also seen the EcoSave, similar idea but with wastewater, trying to encourage you to use less water. The Kondo Composter, which is quite neat. It's a composting unit that goes underneath your kitchen, just in one of your kitchen units, so quite a nice space saver. Living Brick, I'm not quite convinced on that one. It's bricks with holes so that plants can grow in them. Not really sure what impact that's going to have insulation wise though, so I'm not quite decided on how green that is. But I think my clear favourite out of the lot is this here. It's called the Flat Pack Room, and the idea is very simple. Well, the answer's in the title. It's no waste really here because it's all made from one piece of plywood, so no offcuts, and also obviously being flat pack, easy to travel and theoretically less carbon when you're moving it around. So far on the green concept front, Flat Pack Room is the winner. I'm here now with Phil Wolski from Pure, who are one of the carbon offsetting firms in the UK. Now, Phil, what's different about Pure from the other carbon offsetting companies?
Well, everybody in the carbon offsetting market is looking to do the same thing. But what we've done is we've immediately pledged to support the United Kingdom government standard. And what that means is that we support the United Nations Clean Development Mechanism that allows developing countries to leapfrog into new cleaner technologies. And then what we do is we cancel the carbon credit that's generated from that, which reduces the emissions cap in the developed world in one of the Kyoto schemes, which encourages a emitter in the developing world to reduce by that equivalent amount. So it's a dual environmental benefit.
Okay, so a slightly different mechanism to some other companies which are going straight
the real
into
benefit,
energy.
yeah, the real benefit of it is it produces, because it's project-based, an immediate reduction. Whereas, for example, if you plant a tree, I mean, tree planting is very important for wildlife and conservation, but it takes 40 years for a tree to grow. This is an immediate reduction as a result of an investment in the project.
Okay, what would you say to people who say that carbon offsetting is an excuse for business as usual, for us to just carry on?
Well, the greenwashing argument is very real if you don't do it responsibly. I mean, the very first thing you must do is to measure your emissions and then take steps to reduce them, whether that's by installing energy efficient light bulbs or improving your heating or just turning down your thermostat. But to give you a statistic that's well worth mentioning, if all 27 million homes in the United Kingdom physically reduce their emissions by 1 tonne, that's about a tenth of their energy consumption. What would happen there is that we could eliminate the emissions equivalent of 27 medium-sized power stations. If they additionally offset by 1 tonne, that allows us to get rid of 27 million tonnes. That's 27 hot air balloons full of carbon. Additionally, that's quite some number.
That's a lot of balloons. So I mean, you're talking there about people offsetting maybe what their overall footprint, their average footprint, is around 11 tonnes thereabouts, depending on what figures you look at for carbon footprint. I mean, do you think people are going to start offsetting more than just their flights? Because obviously the main thing people offset at the moment.
Well, we're finding that consistently people are going for household, travel and aircraft emissions very consistently. But whether we can achieve that, I mean, we accept donations as well as actual offsets from the carbon footprint. So every little counts, shall we say.
Well, I'm here now with David Richards from the Ideal Home Show. David, I mean, can you give us an idea this year, exhibitor-wise, how many people are doing green or eco things?
I think in terms of the show village itself, we've got probably 75% of all companies involved are certainly managing and looking more towards greener, climate, greener presentations, because they will get subsidies ultimately from the government, etc. So in terms of the biggest area, I think it has to be is timber. And timber, we made sure we had certified products from before they even arrived at Earl's Court. We were checking 10 miles away, what products we were going to use in the time that we had.
So you're talking about FSC certified timber, for example.
Absolutely. I hold all the certificates. So if anybody asks, I have them.
Talking of next year, you were saying to me about Carbon Zero.
Absolutely. Carbon Zero is crucial for the way that we move forward as show organisers. Next year is the centenary. That means that we're going to have bigger show houses, a bigger show village, and I think we have a responsibility to make sure that we lead the way in terms of informing the public. And we're able to do that not just through the show itself, but also through the newspapers that form part of the group that runs the Ideal Home Show. So the Daily Mail are very keen to push us at the same time.
Well, we've just been round the show village, which I have to say was a little bit disappointing. It's been billed as an incredibly eco-friendly example of new houses. There's a rural house, a terraced house and a suburban house, all designed by Patrick Lynch Architects. Now, they are green inside because there are things like timber frames, which is obviously a renewable resource and easy to transport. There's good insulation, when we were inside it was pretty warm, and there's a lot of passive solar lighting, i.e. natural sunlight through windows. Also, all the roofs are pitched, so they're perfect for putting on solar panels, provided obviously these houses end up south-facing. The problem for me was as I was going around inside the houses, you don't actually have a clue which bits are eco-friendly. As a punter, nothing's really labelled up. Very pretty, I must say, but I didn't, as just looking around, I didn't know that the rural house had recycled materials. So good, but not quite the green dream I was hoping for. I'm here now with Dublin Huey from Solar Home Energy, and Huey, can you tell us a bit about what you were saying? You've got some new solar in here today.
Yeah, what we're doing, it's a new generation from Germany, just came in literally about 2 weeks ago, straight from a factory over there. It's the fourth generation of solar heating now, I mean, what most have done really for the general public is save an awful lot on your hot water bills, up to 6%.
Up to 60%?
Yeah.
It's usually 50%, isn't it? It's solar thermal.
According to the papers now, it's 60%, according to the consumer's guide.
Okay.
And more important than that, a lot of people say, oh, will it do my central heating? It's not to do with the central heating. When anybody says that, it's very unethical. It's just to do with the hot water.
It's your showers, it's your washing up, etc.
Yeah, I'll give you a job.
Well, we've seen everything from solar-powered toys to solar water heating at the show. There are quite a few green companies here. So, companies are trying to encourage us, but what are people actually doing at home? Well, we thought we'd ask a few people visiting the show to find out.
I don't use too many cans and things, bottle stuff. Mainly use fresh food. And I'm vegetarian, so I think that's a very big thing.
We do quite a bit of recycling. We buy organic, veg, that type of thing.
We live in a Scandinavian style house, so it is very, very eco-friendly, very well insulated. We haven't had our heating on for about 2 months.
Sort all the rubbish, the plastic and paper and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Well, we've insulated the roof.
Yeah,
We've got a Victorian house, so I mean, we've got some double glazing, obviously. But yeah, it's mainly recycling.
I recycle. I do recycle a bit. That's my little contribution. But as a company, we supply the furniture to the show, and we buy sustainable forestry and all that sort of thing. So it's everything. Everyone's talking about the eco-friendly and footprint, carbon footprint, and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think everyone's doing it, aren't they?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's a good one.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. You must turn the light. Do you have energy-saving light bulbs?
Oh yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
there you
have.
go.
Oh, there you go. See, I am doing something, and I didn't even realise.
Well, that was the Ideal Home Show for 2007. Not quite the green revolution I was hoping for. To be frank, there were more hot tubs and conservatories than there were solar panels and energy-saving gadgets. But still, they're taking some steps in the right direction. I think for me, the most exciting thing was the news about next year, which is the centenary year, when the show's promising to go carbon zero. In the meantime, this year's show's on till the 1st of April, and you can find out more at idealhomeshow.co.uk.